On Republic Day, you undertook this initiative called Aasmaan Mein Bharat.
If we can draw anything, why not do something for the country and draw a map? Forecast is not accurate, then my map is upside down. We did two practice maps, which we faced both the times. So when we were making Gujarat portion, wind suddenly increased, and then it was throwing us out.
If you are someone who is a regular on social media and keeps scrolling Instagram or YouTube for hours, then you must have come across this man who is better known as the Flying Beast. From giving tips on bodybuilding and fitness to showcasing his life as a father to two daughters, we have with us one of the most popular YouTubers in India right now, Mr. Gaurav Taneja. So we would like to ask you, being one of the most popular vloggers in India, can you tell us more about your journey and how did you start?
Hi, first of all, namaskar to everyone who is watching this, reading this. The journey started in 2017 with out and out bodybuilding tips. So I used to sit in front of the camera and just talk to the camera as we are doing this interview. So I used to share my knowledge with people, but slowly and slowly I started sharing my lifestyle about fitness rather than what to do. So that path gave way to vlogging. So initially I never knew कि इसी को vlogging बोलते हैं, to show your lifestyle. But then more and more content was coming onto YouTube, and then I realized that this is a different genre of content, and people started liking. They loved what I used to talk about bodybuilding and how to do it. But then I started telling them कि how I manage my life around fitness. That if I have to travel, how do I manage my meals, and what is my relationship with my wife? Yeah, if I tell her to cook a meal for me, or if we are going to a party, then we sometimes have a fight that I cannot go to a party because I have to go to gym and I have a competition coming up. I cannot eat out; it's Friday or not. So, wo chemistry and wo relationship, people clicked onto it because it had a human element. So that
You like
clicked, and then we started vlogging.
So from cracking IIT in 2004 with an All India rank of 184 to bodybuilding, being participating in bodybuilding competitions, becoming a pilot, and now you're even studying law. So I would like to ask you, what keeps you motivated to keep on trying all these new things in life?
So what keeps me inspiring it is just that I come from a family of servicemen. I've seen like both my parents work hard. My dad used to study in school and take tuitions. He used to sell newspapers. तो वो एक engraved thing है, into me and my sister. So we have
Okay.
grown up in that environment that you have to hustle for everything. And if you are busy, thank God that you are busy, because there are a lot of people who wish to be busy. We always complain we are busy, we are too busy, we don't have time for ourselves.
And I believe you're talking about life in Kanpur, where you grew up.
Yes, yes, yes. Where we grew up, where we were raised as children. Then after Kanpur, I moved out to college, and mostly after that, I was settled in Delhi, working around. But yeah, what keeps me motivated to do more things is, see, I've always done what my passion is and what my heart says. And if you do what your heart says, then it is not something which you are dragging your life and you don't want to do and still you're dragging. If you do what you're passionate about, आपको कभी नहीं लगेगा कि आप बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हो. You'll always feel I want to do more. If you feel that next morning I want to get up and do this thing, you are in the right field. If you're in the right
Yeah.
field, you will never feel like, oh, I have so much on my plate and how will I do this?
So now, since you have become a youth icon and you have so many young followers, do you think that vlogging is a viable career option for them? And if so, what do you suggest or what do you advise to your followers who want to follow your path of vlogging?
See, it depends how you define a viable career option. If you define a viable career, say a banking job or an engineering job or a pilot, this is a viable career option. Why? Because there is a set path defined. अगर आपको pilot बनना है, you finish your 12th with physics and maths. Then you go to a flying school, you get your license, and if you put in certain amount of hours, certain amount of study, you pass your exams, you will get that license.
Yeah.
And if you have that license, there is a good chance you will get a job. Now, if you want to become a cricketer, if you want to play football, if you want to play guitar in a music band, if you want to become a vlogger, there is no set path. कुछ कहीं लिखा नहीं कि आपको ये steps follow करने हैं and then you can become. So that's why थोड़ा सा difficult होता है to lot of young people come and tell us that we want to take up YouTube as a career and what should we do, and then we are blind. We can't tell them what they should do because everybody has to carve out his own path.
Okay.
Everybody's journey is different and will be different, and that is why we call this a creative field. अगर एक रास्ता बना हुआ होता है, you just have to follow that path, then this would not have been a creative field. When a music composer composes a music, he cannot tell you वो कैसे करता है. It is the magic which he creates. That is why it's a creative field. It's a little difficult to call it a viable career option, but again, if you are passionate about it, if you are passionate about telling stories, if you're passionate to learn new things about camera, if you have that thing in you, or people like your personality, if you are one person जिसको स्कूल में कॉलेजेस में मतलब होता है ना कि पार्टी की जान है, महफिल की जान है, he ties people around them, so then it is a good career option for you. You can show your talent and keep people hooked for 10 minutes at least.
And yeah, like you said that you defined vlogging as kind of a storytelling.
It's
That
a
one has
storytelling. It's a storytelling.
the story. Since you have been vlogging since a long time, do you think that it becomes addictive in the long run? Like you feel like sharing every aspect of your life, anything interesting that happens, you feel like sharing it with the followers.
I don't share my family's life. I share my life. So in my life, I have my parents, I have my wife, I have my two daughters. ठीक है. So when I share my life, they are a part of this. So सबकी एक अपनी अपनी life है और थोड़ा सा
Yeah.
crossover है.
I get it.
If you want to share your life, your story will be incomplete without your mom and dad because they interact with you during the day. So you
Yeah.
have to share that bond कि अगर आप आज sad हो, let's say you had a fight with your loved one, so they become a part of that story. So if you share your story of why you're sad, you have to share that story as well, that what happened. It happened, something happened with my loved one and that's why I'm sad. So they become a part of your story. So they must have 80% stuff which goes on their life, but 20% of their stuff like is shared with your life. So you share that part of that story. So, and so you share that, and it depends what you want to share, what you not want to share. So I now know that what is that thing of my life for today's day. So if I'm sitting here today giving this interview, I will not share this, but this is my decision because I think ये जो viewers को उतना validation नहीं करेगा, या फिर मैं आपको बैठा हूँ कॉफी पी रहा हूँ, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. But if I think it is interesting, viewers will be interested to know this part. Then it is your personal call what to share, what not to share.
So coming to this point, like, do you think your online persona is a bit different from the real you? Like, there must be many aspects of your character or life which viewers are not familiar with yet.
Mostly, अभी मेरे पास honestly just to answer this question, एक ब्रांड का ब्रीफ आया हुआ कि आपको अपने स्ट्रगल्स शेयर करने में. I'm like मैं 4 साल से ब्लॉगिंग कर रहा हूँ. I've shared every struggle on my vlogs. What new I can share? So I hope that will answer your question. कि if you make a video of 10 minutes every day, तो mostly आप सब कुछ शेयर कर ही चुके होते हो ऑडियंस के साथ. कुछ नया नहीं होता, hidden नहीं होता. And if you think there is something hidden about this guy which he is not sharing since he's online for so long and nobody has figured that out, then वो हो ही नहीं सकता. If you're online every day and you're meeting people every day, people will know who you are, and if you're trying to fake it, they will catch you. तो आपको उतना प्यार मिल ही नहीं सकता अगर आप लोगों से ट्रू नहीं हो.
So you had your share of controversies, like from speaking out against AirAsia in 2020 to the Noida metro station fiasco on your birthday last year. So do you think that being a public figure, you are judged differently and like people expect a certain standard from you?
So when you say as a public figure something is expected from me, the AirAsia controversy, the aviation regulation is DGCA. Director General of Civil Aviation. Never in the history of India since 1937, when the aircraft rules were made, the regulator has suspended someone in the management of an airline. This is the first time in August of 2020. It means the safety concerns, and DGCA is the regulatory body and a technically competent body. And now they are a statutory body. That means powers have been granted by the Parliament of India to them that they can take a punitive action. This was passed in Rajya Sabha December 2020 winter session. So if they have suspended, that means you are raising a finger on the Rajya Sabha कि उन्होंने काम ठीक से नहीं किया.
No, I mean, not raising a finger. I'm just saying
So
that.
that means you agree that the issues raised by me were genuine. तभी suspend किया.
No.
So then I will not call it a controversy. See, controversy क्या होता है कि you want to come in the news and you say कुछ भी फालतू. नोएडा वाले का वो था कि यार it was an unfortunate incident. We had the permissions. Police was aware. I made that document public. अब उसमें वो unfortunate हो गया. किसकी fault थी? I think they're still investigating. But उसमें भी कोई मेरा ऐसा वो नहीं था कि ill intention था कि मुझे ऐसा कुछ करना है. ठीक है, because मेरे हिसाब से whatever we could have done, we tried doing our best. We had the permission. अब I went there at 2 o'clock. अब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि 2 बजे 5,000 लोग आ गए. Some must have come at 12, then 12:15, then 12:30, and 12:45. पुलिस का एरिया है, वो खुद भी कहते हैं कि we always do that गश्त लगाते हैं ना, पेट्रोलिंग. So they must be aware कि बढ़ रहा है, धीरे-धीरे बढ़ रहा है. So they decided not to do anything when the crowd was increasing. But right at 2 p.m. they thought now it is out of hand. So we did what we could have done, but it was unfortunate rollout of events that happened on my birthday, and that's it. That's all I have to say.
So, on Republic Day, you undertook this initiative called Aasmaan Mein Bharat.
Ji.
So, can you tell us more about that? Like you drew India's map on the skies of US, and so like how did the idea come through, and what all planning went into it?
So the idea came to us like three and a half months back, and then we started preparing for it, how to do it. The most challenging part was that on that day when you're making it, everything has to go right. Even if one thing goes wrong, this thing will, and it is, we're making a country's map. So added pressure tha ki it cannot go wrong. Like even if small portion over here in the west goes wrong, then it is not a country's map. तो एक added pressure था, and the idea came to me because I was I love flying. I had a passion for flying. So then I figured out that when you go from A to B, let's say you fly from Delhi to Mumbai. So we used to, sometimes Bombay gives you a hold that you don't have a slot. Can you hold for 10 minutes in the air? So we used to draw circles and holding racetrack pattern. So that information we get after landing, at how much, just for checking our performance, how much fuel we have burned and what was the path. So you should see that path. Then I found it very interesting. Yeah, achha, we can make a hold. Then it clicked my mind that it means we can draw anything. So वहाँ से click हुआ. If we can draw anything, why not do something for the country and draw a map? And then we decided everything, how to figure that out, how big it should be. And then how wide it should be, long it should be, and then what aircraft to choose, how much fuel it would need to fly that, winds कैसी होंगी, weather कैसा होगा, visibility कैसी चाहिए होगी, what instruments and equipments you need to fly, technical planning as well as logistical planning. So technically, we calculated each and every turn, at what angle it has to be made. And then it also, everything was in our control, but the winds were not in our control. So there are forecast charts which pilots use to plan their flight. Now, if I have to make it on 25th, I use a forecast of 25th, which only comes on Monday, 24th. Now if it got changed, forecast है कल some weather for guy saying कि बारिश होगी 2 बजे, नहीं हुई, 4 बजे हुई. We are humans, we can't control everything. So
Yeah.
now if that forecast is not accurate, then my map is upside down. तो वो challenges बहुत ज़्यादा थे, which we faced. We did 2 practice maps, which we faced both the times. So when we were making Gujarat portion, wind suddenly increased, and then it was throwing us out. But still, we managed to do a good job. My wife was navigating, so credit goes to her also.
Yeah, it was a joint initiative, and kudos to your team as well. So yeah,
We were
my
very proud after completing that. When we landed, we were very proud of that. We could achieve that.
my final question would be like,
Ji.
how has your life changed after all these years? Like you have done so many things in life which a normal person would even dream of doing. Like you have achieved so much. Is there still any regrets in your life? And how has your life changed over all these years? Since now you are such a well-known person.
I think nobody should have regrets. मतलब live life, regrets नहीं होने चाहिए. If you have some regret, take it as if it was meant to happen. If you have given your everything, just take it was meant to happen. And I was watching a very good video recently, which I would like to share. So it went like that. Is it a bad thing or a good thing? So it was like there was a village and somebody came and took this guy's horse. So the villagers came. They're so sorry. But I don't know it's a good thing or a bad thing. तो ले गए घोड़े को सोचता कुछ अच्छा ही हो गया. The next something else happened. People said, "Oh, it's a good thing." I don't know it's a good thing or a bad thing. उससे बुरा हो गया. So you never know that आप जिसके लिए regret कर रहे हो, maybe it's a good thing. It's a signal from God. और कुछ अच्छा ही हो जाए. I had a unfortunate incident when I was working in my 23-24. I lost the job. Oh man, I was so tensed. कि how will I tell my family I lost my job? बहुत tense था मैं for that 3-4 days. And it was a good thing actually because I worked harder and I applied somewhere else. It was a better job. Otherwise, if I would have continued in that previous job, I would have never applied because I was satisfied. So it was a good thing for me.
So the message would be that whatever happens in your life, even if you feel let down by things, it's like you should say that it's meant to happen and something better will come up.
Yeah, if there's a condition, if you're giving 100% working hard, you cannot say relax, अरे यार, chill मारता हूँ, everything is good. वो नहीं होगा.
Yeah, one has to work for it and give it their best.
Yeah. I mean, the whole Indian culture is based upon karma karo. You have to do your thing.
But you believe that things will fall into place eventually.
Eventually.
Okay, it was a great chat having you here with us.
Thank you so much, Gujjan. Thank you so much.